Hello there. Now, as we recently learned that the Blade will not reopen at Alton Towers after this being heavily rumoured at the end of the 2024 season, I thought it was a good time to learn about the ride's history, so I hope you enjoy. So, this swinging ship style flat ride was manufactured by Huss Rides and first opened at the park in 1980. This means that it had 44 years of operation, which is insane, and it was the oldest operating ride at the park. From what I could see online, this title now goes to the Congo River Rapids, I believe, which opened in 1986. But if anyone knows otherwise, please let me know. The ride was originally called the Pirate Ship, being housed in the Springfield Centre, later known as Fantasy World and then X Sector today. It used to stand where Submission used to be, and believe it or not, this pirate ship was the first big thrill ride for the park, as this was before the days of the corkscrew. The original pirate theme was very typical, but did look inviting with some really nice colours and even a crow's nest. The ride itself lasted about 90 seconds, and from what I could find, and at full capacity, could sit 45 riders at a time. In one source, though, it said it could take 1,800 riders in an hour. This may just be technically speaking, in fact, it has to be, as on the Alton Towers website, they state it had 500,000 riders each year, averaging around 450 riders an hour in its lifetime. The ride had a maximum height of 20 metres, reaching a peak angle of 75 degrees. The top speed was 19 kilometres an hour, which is just over 11.8 miles an hour, which doesn't sound very fast despite the G-forces you could experience. In March 1997, the ride was moved to Forbidden Valley, reopening as the Blade in the same spot where the Thunderlooper used to be. And as I'm sure you know, this theme was less colourful, becoming dark brown with the end blade spikes being added to the front and back, and an overall post-apocalyptic theme. Similar shaped theming was also used around the ride information board and on top of the entrance arch. The supported information board had yellow hazard lines, similar to that on Ripsaw, which it neighboured until its closure, with hazard lines also being echoed in the new version of Ripsaw opening in 2025. Apparently, this theme was to link it in with Nemesis, specifically with the blade being a piece of shrapnel flung from the Nemesis excavation pit. I never gave the backstory further thought until I researched it, and I will pay more attention to backstories in the future, because I just bob about looking at the rides thinking, oh, that looks nice. And I never actually think about the story behind it. But next year, I will do. So interestingly, the park maps for the 2015 season did not feature the blade, so people did start to wonder that its removal was imminent. And indeed, the park did state that it would leave after the first half of that season, which did seem a bit random, but at least there was prior warning, unlike other removals. However, this did not take place, likely due to the Smiler incident. I do wonder that if the ride was removed then, what were their plans for that area at the time? Was there a development we may never know about because it never came to fruition, perhaps? Maybe that will happen now. Even though it wasn't a hugely popular ride, people have fond memories, and I love that Alton Towers included a quote from the theme park guide in their sort of farewell post, who said they would get groups of people to sit either end of the blade and have cheering competitions to see who could cheer the loudest. I thought that sounded really cute. So the blade has closed, and according to the Alton Towers post they made, this was because it reached the end of its technical life, which of course is the right decision to make if a ride being older could compromise safety. However, I wonder if there were any other considerations that led to this decision, such as operational costs due to it being a less popular ride, and with the other cost cutting taking place. Weirdly, though, 2019 saw quite a bit of refurbishment to the ride. Strange if it only had 5 more years left, but they might not have known it at the time. But this also leads me to think of other factors. They must have been at play in terms of why it closed. And do you think there is another ride earmarked for this location already? How ironic would it be if they now rebirthed Thunderlooper in its location as well, just a less tall version? Whether you liked it or not, the loss of the blade is the loss of another flat ride at the park, so next season may well see queues for the other rides increase that little bit more, what with Flavio's and the dungeon going as well. But what I'm wondering now is what will happen to the ride? Will it have been completely removed by the beginning of next season? Will it be sold to any other parks, or does the end of its technical life really mean goodbye forever? Will it be scrapped? If so, would ride parts be for sale? And would any of the theming or other ride elements be kept and used as any future Easter eggs in and around other attractions? That is something that I love spotting, especially in the Curse at Alton Manor, although the blade already gets a little mention in there once you enter the Doll's House section, so its memory will still live on, I guess. What will go in Blade's place, if anything? If no ride replaces it, what will happen to that location in general? And many rhetorical questions later, I wish I knew the answers. There we have it. Short and sweet, unlike the length of the time that the ride operated. Goodbye to the blade, and hello to what next, I wonder. So thank you for watching, and I promise I will cover something non-Alton Towers related soon. Bye!